Ladies and gentlemen, this is Paula Yates, who's on a visit to Dublin with Bob and the Rats this weekend. And she left school when she was 15 to get into the pop business, and she now writes no less than 11 columns for various magazines, including Cosmopolitan, News of the World, and a whole host of other pop magazines. 11 columns?
Yeah.
Regular? About the whole pop scene in Britain?
Well, no, they're not. Well, the one for the News of the World is regular, because that's every week.
Yeah.
And then I just repeat that endlessly for other magazines. And then there's the one for Cosmopolitan, which is nothing to do with the pop world. That's just like, sometimes it's my ideas and sometimes it's the editor's ideas.
Yes.
The smutty ones are the editor's
Paula,
ideas.
What I really wanted to talk to you was, you've just written a piece about what makes men sexy. She has written a piece, a whole piece about what makes men. And go on then, tell us, from your inquiries.
Well, gay. I think, from those few moments we spent backstage together, that you don't need any advice.
Thinks, and unlike the rest of you, she hasn't seen me with my trousers off yet. Now, you had lunch during the week with Terry Wogan, and you described... Funny, she describes Terry Wogan as sexy. Can you imagine that?
Yeah, he's sort of what I'd call a hunk.
Really?
Because he's got all the attributes that most girls with any sense look for. He's over 6 foot, for a start-off. Not that you need to be, of course.
Jeez.
And he's a Paddy. And that's a great help, I think.
Is it?
Yeah.
All Paddies start with an advantage, do they?
Yes, because they've got a good line in chat.
Uh-huh.
So even if they've got a face like a turnip, you can shut your eyes and you can listen to all this guff that they talk. And it sounds like they're telling the truth, because even though most Paddies, in fact, fib, because they say things like, "But Jesus, I love you so much. You're the most beautiful woman on earth." And you know that they don't really mean it. It sounds sort of pretty triff. And, of course, most girls are willing to believe anything.
So Terry Wogan is over 6 foot and he has a great line of Paddy chat. And third?
Oh, I couldn't say what the third thing was.
You told me that you were so excited having lunch with Terry Wogan that you spilled your snails all over his trousers.
Yeah, I did.
Your snails.
Well, I think that's because I was trying to impress him, too.
Yes.
And usually when you're trying to impress somebody, you either fall on your face or your zip bursts or something like that.
Yeah.
And in my case, my snail shot across the table at an alarming speed and thwacked Mr. Wogan across the lap.
Yeah, that must have got a laugh, did it?
No.
No, I didn't think it would. Presumably you mean Mr. Geldof is rather sexy too, do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you might. Yeah. Now, the other thing that you've just published recently... No, listen, the other thing that Paul has just published recently is a book of photographs taken of pop stars in their underpants.
No, it wasn't very recent.
Well, let's quibble about the details. Pop stars in their underpants it was.
Yeah, they were in their drawers, but...
I know it's a stupid question, but why did you decide to publish this book?
Well, because I figured it'd sell a lot.
And did it?
Yeah, it sold loads and loads, so there was obviously a lot of people who were as curious as I was to see people without their clothes on. Or famous people, that's the essential thing.
Yeah.
You don't want to see your milkman's assistant in his underpants. But it's quite nice to see somebody that you see regularly on top of the pops, standing in all his glory. But not too much glory, because that might make you a bit sick.
Yes. And there was a myriad selection of underpants and that sort of thing.
No, they all wore the same sort.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
How interesting. Now, you took all these photographs yourself, Paula?
Yeah,
or most of them?
Yeah, Linda McCartney took a picture of Paul McCartney for me.
Cute girl. Oh, yes.
And that was...
And did any of the pop stars refuse you and say, no, I don't want to do that?
Yeah, Bryan Ferry from Roxy Music refused me because he said that he had to have a pair of underpants made. And there wasn't time for him to have a special pair of fashionable underpants made. And so he didn't do it. And Freddie Mercury, who's the lead singer in Queen, he didn't want to do it, but he goes on stage wearing sort of nylon knickers held up with braces and things. So that, I thought, well, I don't know why he won't take his trousers off.
Yeah.
And he's got sort of wall-to-wall pubic hair. So I think that might have been the reason.
What an extraordinary person. could have had something to do with it, right enough. Anyway,
well,
it's selling
You
well.
might not want everyone to see that you've got these things lurking beneath your
maybe you wouldn't.
normal exterior.
That's true.
But
Yes.
let's have a look.
I have a lovely... Listen, no, none of that.
No.
Do you intend, Paula, at the, sometime in the future, do you intend to settle down and be a dutiful wife and mother?
Well, I don't really need to be a dutiful wife because I'm a very dutiful girlfriend. So, I don't really fancy being a dutiful wife as well because I can't see that it would make that much difference. I still have to do the laundry. Sometimes I think, God, the only gossip that comes into my life would be if the Hoover ran off with the iron. And so there's not really, any need for me to do that. And I'd be a very good mother as long as I only have boys.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going to have all boys.
Nanty on the girls?
Yeah, a bit. I think
Why?
I'd send it back.